Hello friends, welcome back once again on my YouTube channel Gyan Guru by Gaurav Gupta. Friends, in this video we will be discussing the exemplar questions of chapter 2 relations and functions for class 11. Now we'll be discussing these questions one by one. So first of all, we'll start with the short answer type questions, then we'll switch over to long answer type questions, and then the objective type questions. So I'll be discussing each and every question that is given in the practice exercise of NCERT exemplar chapter number 2 for relations and functions. So without wasting any time, let's quickly start discussing these questions. Now for short answer type questions, there were 15 questions in this exercise, right? So in this video, we shall be discussing these 15 questions to start with. So question number one, there are four different parts. You are given set A and set B, and you'll have to determine the Cartesian product A cross B cross A, B cross B, and A cross A, right? Now, so first of all, A cross B will be equal to, it will be a set containing all the ordered pairs in which one element from set A will be taken and one element of set B will be taken, and we'll have to make each and every pair like that. So I'll start making it. So from set A it will be -1, and from set B it will be 1. Then with -1 I'll take the other element of set B, that is 3, right? So what you have to do is सेट ए का एक एलिमेंट लिया -1, उसको पेयर अप किया सेट बी के दोनों एलिमेंट्स के साथ एक एक करके, राइट? देन लुक एट द नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट ऑफ सेट ए विच इज 2. सो 2 को 1 के साथ पेयर अप करो एंड 3 के साथ पेयर अप करो, राइट? सो द नेक्स्ट ऑर्डर्ड पेयर विल बी 2, 1 and then 2, 3, right? And finally what you need to do is last element of set A which is 3 को 1 and 3 के साथ pair up कर दो. So 3, 1 and 3, 3. So this is the Cartesian product A cross B, right? Now for B cross A, what we'll do is the first element of every ordered pair will be from set B and the second element will be from set A. All right. So B cross A, this one, B cross A will be equal to, so first element of set B is 1, and then I'll pair it with each and every element of set A. So 1, -1, then 1, 2, and 1, 3, right? Like this, I'll do with the second element of set B. Okay, so it will be 3, -1, 3, 2, and 3, 3, right? So this is Cartesian product B cross A. Now for B cross B, we'll take the set B. So the first element will be of set B, the second element will be of set B. So we'll pair up every element of set B with every element of set B, right? So if I write set B once again, that is 1, 3. So 1 will be paired with 1 and 3, and then 3 will be paired with 1 and 3, right? So it will become 1, 1, 1, 3, then 3, 1, and 3, 3. So this is B cross B, and similarly we'll write A cross A, that is part number 4. So first of all, -1 will be paired with -1, then -1 will be paired with 2, and then -1 will be paired with 3. Then 2 will be paired with each of these three elements. 2 will be paired with -1, 2 will be paired with 2, 2 will be paired with 3, and finally 3 will be paired with -1, 3 will be paired with 2, and 3 will be paired with 3. Okay. Now when you are doing the basics of this chapter and you are trying to understand the Cartesian product, then it is important to know the number of elements in the Cartesian product. So I'll give you a small example. Let's say in set A there are 5 elements and in set B there are 6 elements, for example. So the number of elements in Cartesian product A cross B will be the product of number of elements of A and B respectively. So it will be 5 into 6, that is 30. So there will be a total of 30 ordered pairs. There will be a total of 30 elements in the set of Cartesian product of A and B, right? So this is one very small thing that you need to keep in mind while you are solving these questions. Okay. Now with this, let's move on to our next question, question number 2. Now you have to be very careful with the predefined sets that are used in these questions, the sets of real numbers like natural numbers, integers, whole numbers, rational numbers, and so on and so forth. So in question number 2, you are given that if p is equal to x such that x is less than 3 and x belongs to a natural number. Now x is a natural number less than 3. Now the smallest natural number is 1. All right, and we have to keep the natural numbers less than 3. So I can say that set p will be 1 comma 2. So these will be the two elements that will come in set p, because p is a set of natural numbers which are less than 3. Now talking about q is equal to x such that x is less than equal to 2. So look at this sign. So it is less than equal to 2 and x belongs to w. W they have defined that it is the set of whole numbers. Okay, so whole numbers, they starts from 0. So the set Q will be 0, 1 and 2. So there will be three elements. Why I have included 2? Because it says x is less than or equal to 2. So 2, the element 2 will also be included in set Q. Right? Now we'll have to find out P union Q cross P intersection Q. So Cartesian product of P union Q and P intersection Q. So I'll write these two separately. First of all, P union Q. So it will contain all the elements that are there in P or Q. So that means it will have 0, 1 and 2. So these elements will be considered ones. Similarly, P intersection Q will have all the elements which are in P and Q. दोनों sets में present होने चाहिए. So which elements are there? 1 and 2 are present in both the sets. Okay, so this is P intersection Q. Now we'll have to write their Cartesian product. That means P union Q multiplied by P intersection Q. So we'll do the same way, the way we have done the previous question. Okay, so P union Q will start with the first set. Okay, the first element of the first set P union Q. So 0 will be paired up with 1 and 2. So 0 comma 1, 0 comma 2. Then 1 comma 1 and 1 comma 2. Then 2 comma 1 and 2 comma 2. So there will be 6 elements in this, and that is the answer. So this is the Cartesian product. That is question number 2. Okay. Now moving on to our next question, question number 3. It has two parts, and the question is similar. It's a combination of first and second question. Okay. So let's quickly finish it. The only important thing is you must write the sets A and B properly. Okay. So look at the definition of these sets. So A is equal to X such that X belongs to W a whole number, and X is less than 2. So 2 से छोटे whole numbers क्या क्या होंगे? 0 and 1. Alright, so A is having two elements, 0 and 1. Now talking about B is equal to X such that X is a natural number and X is greater than 1, less than 5. So between 1 and 5, strictly between 1 and 5, which are the natural numbers? They are 2, 3 and 4. So we have three natural numbers, 2, 3 and 4. You don't have to consider 1 and 5 because of these signs, strictly less than. So X is greater than 1 and X is less than 5. Alright. Now set C is already given clearly. So the elements of set C are 3, 5. Now let's talk about the first part of this, A cross B intersection C. So I already have set A given, and now I'll calculate the intersection of B and C. So the common elements in B and C. So set B has 2, 3 and 4 and set C has 3 and 5. So there is only one common element in B intersection C, and I'll find its Cartesian product with A. So A cross B intersection C will be equal to 0, 3 and 1, 3. Only two elements will be there. Okay, so this is the first part. Now the second one, A cross B union C. So B union C calculate kar lete hain pehle. So B union C will be the set of all elements which are present in either B or C. Okay. So B union C, it will be 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there are four elements in B union C, and its cross product with A, that is A cross B union C, will become set A has 2 elements, B union C has 4 elements. So in total there will be 8 ordered pairs in this Cartesian product. So A cross B union C. So first of all, the first element of A 0 will be combined with every element of B union C. So it will be 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4 and 0, 5. Done. Then the second element of A, second element of set A, which is 1, will be combined with every element of B union C. So it will be 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 and 1, 5. Alright, so like I told you that there will be 8 elements in this Cartesian product. So you can check there are 8 ordered pairs in this. Okay, so that was question number 3. Let's move on to our next question, question number 4. Now, question number 4 is very simple and straightforward. Okay, now two ordered pairs are equal if respectively the first elements are equal and the second elements are equal. Okay, so in each of the following cases we have to find out the values of A and B. So let's look at the first part. So in the first part, 2A plus B will be equal to 8. So I'll write it, 2A plus B is equal to 8. Okay, and A minus B will be equal to 3. A minus B is equal to 3. Now you have linear equations, two variables. You are a student of 11th standard. You must be able to solve them very quickly. So I'll add these equations. Okay, so if I'll add these equations, B will be eliminated and you will have 3A is equal to 8 plus 3, that is 11. And the value of A will be 11 upon 3. Right? So this is the value of A. Now substituting the value of A in any of these equations will give you the value of B. So value of A I will substitute in the second equation. So it will become A minus B, that is 11 upon 3 minus B is equal to 3. So the value of B will be 11 upon 3 minus 3, that is 2 upon 3. Okay, so the value of A is 11 upon 3 and the value of B is 2 upon 3. The first part of question number 4 is taken care of. Okay, now let's look at the second part. Now second part again will do the same thing, exactly the same thing that we have done in first. So the first element, the first part of the ordered pair is equated with the first part of the other side. So A upon 4 is equal to 0. That implies A is equal to 0. A का value 0 आ गया. And then equating the second parts, A minus 2B is equal to 6 plus B. I already have the value of A, which is 0. I'll substitute the value of A. So it will become 0 minus 2B is equal to 6 plus B. Now taking B on one side, so I will have minus 3B is equal to 6. That implies B is equal to minus 2. So in the second part, A is equal to 0 and B is equal to minus 2. Alright, so that was question number 4. Let's move on and look at our next question, question number 5. Now question number 5. Now as we'll move on to the next questions, the level of difficulty will keep on increasing. It's just that you will have to be slightly careful while writing these sets. Okay. Now in question number 5, you are already given set A and set F is defined as x comma y, where x belongs to A and y belongs to A as well. All right. Now we'll have to find out the ordered pairs which satisfies the following conditions. So condition number 1 is x plus y is equal to 5. So you will have to select element x and element y from set A. You will have to select one elements corresponding to x and y such that their sum is equal to 5. Provided the value of x and y should be from set A only. So x or y can be any values among 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. ठीक है, x और y की वैल्यूज 1 2 3 4 5 में से ही हो सकती है, यू कैन नॉट टेक एनी अदर वैल्यू such that x plus y should be equal to 5. Okay, so the first ordered pair, or if I look at the lowest value of x can be 1, correspondingly if you'll have to make the sum as 5, the value of y will be 4. So 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, yes, I can consider this. Similarly 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Now, sometimes we do not consider these sets. 3 plus 2 is also 5. So 2 plus 3 and 3 plus 2. Since we are looking at ordered pairs, you have to be careful that 2 comma 3 is different from 3 comma 2. Okay. And finally, you can write 4 comma 1. Okay. So these will be the 4 ordered sets for the first question, which satisfies x plus y is equal to 5. Okay. Now looking at the second part in the similar manner, you will have to consider all the ordered pairs x comma y such that their sum is less than 5. Now be very careful and move in a proper direction so that you will not miss any ordered set and you will not take any ordered set once again. Duplications se bachna hai. Okay. So first of all, we'll have to consider all of them once, only once. Okay. So again, I'll start with the smallest value of x. Okay. So smallest value of x is 1. Smallest value that y can take is also 1. 1 plus 1 is less than 5. Yes, it is. Next, so keep the value of x same and change the values of y. Okay. So when x is 1, y can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Every time just check if the sum is less than 5 or not. Okay. So next will be 1 comma 2, the sum is less than 5. Then 1 comma 3, the sum is less than 5. Now if I write 1 comma 4, the sum will be equal to 5. Since it is not less than 5, I will not consider that ordered pair. Okay, so 1 comma 4 को consider नहीं करेंगे because 1 plus 4 is equal to 5 and it will be against the condition, right? So I'll not consider this. Next, I'll change the value of x now. So now x will be 2, right? And we'll start again with the smallest value of y, which is 1. So 2 comma 1, it will be considered. 2 comma 2, yes, it will be considered. But 2 comma 3, 2 plus 3 will be equal to 5 and it will not be considered. Now for the next value of x, which is 3, 3 comma 1 will be considered, but 3 comma 2, 3 plus 2 is 5, it will not be considered. After that, if I'll consider x as 4, even the smallest value of y will make the sum equal to 5 and hence we will stop here. Okay, so this will be the final answer. There will be 6 ordered pairs in second part. Now going on to the third part, x plus y is greater than 8. So now you have to consider the values of x and y such that the sum is greater than 8. Okay. I will start with 1, the value of x as 1. Even if I'll consider the highest value of y, that is 5, 1 plus 5 will not make the sum greater than 8. मुझे sum को greater than 8 बनाना है, that means minimum 9 तो होना चाहिए sum. Okay. Now x, for x equal to 2, again the sum of 9 will not be possible. For x equal to 3, again the sum of 9 will not be possible. So I'll start from the value of x, which is equal to 4. Now x is equal to 4, the value of y is 5. Yes, it can be considered. Okay, right? So this will be considered, right? So for x equal to 4, the value of y can only be 5. Now next is when x is 5, the value of y can be 4, the sum is 9, which is greater than 8. And finally, when x is 5, the value of y can also be 5. Sum is 10, it is satisfying the condition and hence it will be considered. So there will be 3 ordered pairs in this case. Okay, so that was question number 5. Let's quickly move on. Our next question, question number 6. Now question number 6, again the similar type of question. R is equal to x comma y such that both x and y belongs to whole numbers and x square plus y square is equal to 25. Now you'll have to look at the squares of x and y. Okay, we'll have to find the domain and range of R. So first of all, I'll write this relation R, and then we'll look at the domain and the range. All right. Okay. Now, since x and y are whole numbers, the minimum value that they can take can be 0. So I'll write it on the right hand side. So the values of x or y can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. The squares of these values, x square or y square, can be 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Now, like a bell should ring in your mind looking at these numbers. I want x square plus y square to be equal to 25. Equal to 25, right? So obviously it cannot be more than 25. So I'll not be considering the values of x or y which are more than 5. ये तो clear है, right? Okay, so now consider x square and y square, right? Consider x square and y square from these values such that the sum is equal to 25. Now, just doing a little bit of trial and error, you will understand that there are only two numbers out of these six numbers such that the sum is equal to 25. The sum of no two other numbers is equal to 25. Okay, so I can say that the value of x can be 0 and the value of y can be 5, or vice versa. X is 5, y is 0, such that x square plus y square is equal to 25. Okay, so I can say that this is the relation in front of us. Okay, now domain of this function will be, so domain is basically the values of x or the first element. So domain will be 0, 5. All right, and you can see that the range will be the same. It will be 5, 0 or 0, 5. The sequence does not matter at all when you are writing the elements. Okay, so the range and domain in this case is same. All right, so that was question number 6. Quickly moving on to our next question, question number 7. Now question number 7, they have defined a relation R1 x comma y such that y is equal to 2x plus 7, where x is a real number and x lies from -5 to +5, all the values including -5 and +5. Done. So this is the relation R1 that they have defined. So we'll have to find out the domain and range of this function. Now y is equal to 2x plus 7 and the values of x are from -5 to +5, both included. Okay, if I'll put any value of x which is in this range of values, I can say that I will get the value of y, right? I can put x as -5, I can put x as -4, -4.3, -2.1, 0, 1, 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. I can put any value of x that is starting from -5 up till +5. All right. So it is clear that this value of y is defined, can be calculated for any value of x. So I can say that this will be the domain of this function. It is clear. Okay. Now let's talk about the range. Now, if I put the minimum value of x, that is -5, the value of y will be 2 multiplied by -5 plus 7. That is equal to -10 plus 7 -3. Okay. Now, since this is a linear expression in terms of x and I have 2x plus 7, you can observe that if I increase the value of x, the value of y will increase. Okay. So the maximum value of y can be obtained for the maximum value of x, which is x equal to 5. So at x equal to 5, I'll get the value of y, which will be 2 into 5 plus 7. That is equal to 17. Okay. So the minimum value of y will be -3 and the maximum value of y will be 17. And the value of y will be all real numbers starting from -3 up till +17. It will take all real numbers, right? Okay. So we can say that the range of this function or the values of y will be starting from -3 up till 17, and both included. We will have the closed interval, not the open interval, and this will become the range of this function. Okay, so that was question number 7. Just being slightly careful, slightly logical, and you will be able to get all the answers correctly. Moving on, next question, question number 8. Now they have defined a relation R2 x comma y such that x and y are integers. Integers. अभी तक क्या था? Natural numbers, whole numbers. Now we have seen integers. Now what are integers? Integers are, I'll give you examples. -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on up till infinity, minus infinity. 0 is also an integer. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till infinity. Okay, so you can say that counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till infinity are integers, 0 is integers, and the negative of counting numbers like -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on up till minus infinity are integers. Okay, so that means you will have to consider negative numbers as well in this case. ठीक है ना? So negative numbers को नहीं भूलना है. Now x and y are integers such that x square plus y square is equal to 64. Do you remember a question where we have seen x square plus y square is equal to 25 a few minutes back? Same चीज यहाँ पे करनी है. Okay, so you can say that when the values of x and y are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll stop at 8 because 8 square is 64. Okay, 0 square is 0, right? Then 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, and 49. Okay, now you will have to pick two numbers here, two squares whose sum is 64. So obviously you can see that 0 plus 64 is 64. Now, do we have any other two squares out of this list such that their sum is equal to 64? No, we don't have. Okay, you can do trial and error. No two squares will have the sum of 64. Okay, right? So I can now start forming this relation R2. So R2 will be equal to, when x is 0, y is 8. When x is 8, y is 0. Now also, since we are considering integers, negative of 8 square is also equal to 64. So minus 8 का square भी 64 होता है. So I can also consider 0 comma minus 8 and minus 8 comma 0 in this case. Okay, so this is the complete relation R2. Okay, now we have already got R2. We don't have to write the domain and range. Even if you want to write the domain and range, you can do that as per your choice. But this is the complete relation R2. So the learning from this question is we need to consider the negative numbers. The squares of negative numbers is also positive. Like here minus 8 का square 64 होता है, plus 8 का square भी 64 होता है. So if they are talking about only the whole numbers, then I would have considered only the first two ordered pairs. Now, since they are talking about the integers, they are asking us to consider integers. That is why I have also considered minus 8 in this case. So just being extra careful, okay, just being I would say aware of all these things, keeping all these things in mind when you are solving these questions will help you in increasing your score drastically. Okay, now question number 9, relation R3 is defined as x comma modulus x. You all know what is a modulus function. You have already completed all the exercise from NCERT book. Modulus function is defined, greatest integer function is defined properly, signum function is defined. So modulus function, very simple. So R3 is x comma modulus x such that x is any real number. Okay, we'll have to find out the domain and range, right? Now for any value of x, modulus x will always be positive, right? So you can say that the domain of this function will be all real numbers. सारे के सारे real numbers होंगे, right? Because यहाँ पे x की value put करनी है and modulus function is defined for every value of x when x is a real number. So you can say that the domain will be all real numbers, or you can write it as minus infinity to plus infinity. Simple. Okay. Now talking about range. Now in the range, if you look at the range of modulus function, you will understand this thing, right? Now, when I'll put any value of x which is greater than 0, right? The value of y or the value of modulus x will also be greater than 0. When x is negative, again y will be positive. That is the modulus x will be positive. So modulus x will never take a negative value, but it can take a value as 0 when x is 0. So अगर x 0 होगा तो modulus x 0 है. For any other value of x, modulus x will always be positive. So you can say that the range will be the set of all positive real numbers plus or union 0. 0, this element should be added. Or in other words, you can write it as 0 comma infinity and put closed interval for 0 to show that 0 will also be included. So you can write it in either of these two ways, both are equally good. Alright, so that is the domain and range of the relation R3. Now moving on, looking at the next question, question number 10. Now question number 10 has 5 parts. Now we have to find out if the given relation is a function. Now function, what is the proper definition of function? You can say that a function from set A to set B is defined if every element of set A has one and only one image in set B, or every element of set A is associated with unique element in set B, right? So किसी भी एक element की दो values, दो images नहीं होनी चाहिए, which is there in the first part. So in the first part, for x equal to 3, the values of y are 9 and 11, which is not possible, strictly not possible. Okay, so I can say that this is a relation, but this is not a function. Simple as that. Okay. Now, for the second part, f is equal to x comma x, where x is a real number. So you can say that how can I define this relation? I can write it as 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, minus 1 comma minus 1, 0 comma 0, 0 0.3 comma 0 0.3. So for every x we have a unique value of y. Okay, so yes, this is a function. All right. Now for the next case, part number 3, this relation is defined as n comma 1 upon n, where n is a positive integer. So they have already mentioned that n is a whole number. When n is equal to 1, 1 upon n will be equal to 1. When n is 2, it will be 1 upon 2. When n is 3, it will be 1 upon 3. For 4, it will be 1 upon 4, and so on. It will keep on going like this. So for every value of x which is there in the domain, I have a unique value of y. I don't have multiple values of y. Okay, so again this satisfies all the conditions of a function, hence this is a function. Now the next relation, s is equal to n comma n square, where n is again a positive integer. So यहाँ पे क्या बोलेंगे? When x is 1, y will be equal to 1. This is the first ordered pair. Then when x is 2, y will be 4, x is 3, y is 9, and so on. So once again, for every value which is in the domain for x, we have a unique value. In the range, we have a unique value for y. Okay, so once again satisfying, and I can say that yes, it is a function. Done. Okay, now next, t is equal to x comma 3. This is an interesting case where x is a real number. So if I'll write it, the first element, let's say x is equal to 1, but since this is a constant function, okay, so y is 3. So 1 के लिए 3 है, एक ही value है, then 2 के लिए भी 3 है, 3 के लिए भी 3 है. So for every value of x, we are getting a unique value of y. We are not getting two different values of y. So this is also a function. This is a constant function, right? So that was question number 10. Now, quickly moving on, next question, a very simple question having 5 parts. So you are given two functions. Two functions are defined. Fx is equal to x square plus 7 and gx is equal to 3x plus 5. For the first part, we will have to calculate f of 3 plus g of minus 5. Just substituting the values, f of 3 will be 3 square plus 7 plus g of minus 5, 3 times minus 5 plus 5. What you have to do is you just have to substitute the values in the functions. So 3 square is 9 plus 7 is 16 minus 15 plus 5 and that is equal to 6. The answer for the first question. Now second question, f of 1 upon 2. So x square plus 7. So 1 upon 2 square is 1 upon 4 plus 7 multiplied by g of 14. Now g of 14, 3 multiply 14 is 42. 42 plus 5 is 47. Now 1 by 4 plus 7 is 29 by 4 multiplied by 47. I just multiplied 29 and 47. So 7 into 9, 63. 6 carry forward. 14 and 36 is 40, 50. 50 and 6, 56. And 13. So 1363 divided by 4 is the answer. Now, what I think is in the booklet, if you see the NCERT booklet, I believe the answer is given something different. So that is the wrong answer. I believe they have given 1364 divided by 4. So that will not be the answer. This is the correct answer. Okay, so you can cross check it. Part C, f of minus 2. So minus 2 put here. So minus 2 square is 4 plus 7 is the first function plus g of minus 1. So minus 3 plus 5. All right. So 11 plus 2, that is, sorry, 11 plus 2. I'll make a small correction. So 7 plus 2 nahi hoga yahan pe, 11 plus 2. So 11 plus 2, that is 13 will be the correct answer for part C. Now part D, f of t minus f of minus 2. In both the cases, the same function is used. Careful. Okay, so f of t. So I'll put t here. So it will be t square plus 7. Then minus f of minus 2. So f of minus 2 का square 4 होता है. 4 plus 7 is 11. So t square plus 7 minus 11, that will be t square minus 4. That was part D. And the last part, f of t minus f of 5. So t square plus 7 minus f of 5. 5 square plus 7, 25 plus 7 is 32 divided by t minus 5. Okay. In the numerator, it will be t square minus 25. Denominator is t minus 5. It is clearly given that t is not equal to 5. So you can factorize and cancel out t minus 5. So in the numerator, t square minus 25 will become t plus 5 multiplied by t minus 5 whole divided by t minus 5. T minus 5 will get cancelled and the answer will be t plus 5. Okay, so t plus 5 is the final answer for part E. That was question number 11. Moving on, next question, question number 12. Again, two functions are defined. Fx is 2x plus 1, gx is 4x minus 7. Part A, for what real numbers x, fx and gx are equal? So just equate them and get the value of x. Simple as that. So fx, which is 2x plus 1, will be equal to gx, that is 4x minus 7. Simplify it. So 2x is equal to 8 and that implies x is equal to 4. So that is the answer for the first part. Now for the second part, fx is less than gx. So 2x plus 1 is less than 4x minus 7. So take all the variables on one side. So 2x को right hand side में लेके जाएंगे and minus 7 को left hand side. So 8 is less than 2x, or I can say that 2x is greater than 8 or x is greater than 4. Alright, so x is greater than 4, or you can write it as x belongs to 4 comma infinity, where there will be an open interval on 4 because 4 is not included. Alright, so that is the answer for second part. Moving on, 13th question. You are given two functions and you will have to apply operations addition, subtraction, multiplication and quotient on these two functions. So f plus g, this is f and this is g, just simply add them. So 2x plus 1 plus x square plus 1. Simplifying it, you can write it as x square plus 2x plus 2. Simple, that's it. This is the answer for first part. Second part, instead of addition, do subtraction. So 2x plus 1 minus x square plus 1, opening the brackets, 2x plus 1 minus x square minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled and the function will be 2x minus x square. You may write it as minus x square plus 2x, both are equally good, you will get the marks. Okay? Now the next one, the multiplication, be very careful. 2x plus 1 multiplied by x square plus 1 in the booklet आंसर गलत दिया हुआ है, misprinting है, कोई और प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. So open the bracket carefully, it will be 2x cube plus 2x plus x square plus 1. Rewriting it as 2x cube plus x square. So book में यहाँ पे x cube लिखा हुआ है plus 2x plus 1. Right? And finally, f upon g. So 2x plus 1 upon x square plus 1. Nothing can be cancelled. You can leave it as it is. Alright. Now look at the denominator x square plus 1. Now x square will always be a non-negative number, and a non-negative number when added to 1 will give us a positive number. Alright. So we are fine that the denominator will never be equal to 0 because denominator will always be greater than 1. Okay. So you can write it in this form. You can leave it in this form. Done. Next question, question number 14. Express the following function as a set of ordered pairs and determine their range. Okay. So we'll have to express this function as a set of ordered pairs where fx is equal to x cubed plus 1. So I'll take different values of x. So this function will be equal to, so when x is minus 1, the value of y will be x cube plus 1. So यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं when x and x cube plus 1. So when x is minus 1, the value of x cube plus 1, minus 1 cube is minus 1 and then plus 1, it will become 0. You can solve it separately. When x is 0, then x cube plus 1 will be 1. When x is 3, 3 cube is 27, 27 plus 1 is 28. When x is 9, 9 cube is 729 plus 1, 730. And finally, when x is 7, 7 cube is 343 and plus 1, it will be 344. So you can write them as ordered pairs. Now you will understand the relevance of remembering the squares and cubes, right? So if you also want to save time the way I have done, because I could remember the cubes of these numbers. So if you want to save time and you want to invest your time in some other difficult questions in your examination, make sure that you remember the squares up till 25 and cubes up till 15. So 25 तक के squares and 15 तक के cubes tips पे होने चाहिए. That will be beneficial for you. Okay. Now writing them as ordered pairs: minus 1 comma 0, 0 comma 1, 3 comma 28, 9 comma 730, and 7 comma 344. And that's it. This is question number 14. The last from short answer type, question number 15. After that, in my next video, I will give you the solutions for long answer type questions. So let's finish it off. Find the values of x for which the functions are equal. Two functions are given and I want to make them equal. So the first function fx, 3x square minus 1, is equal to the second function, that is 3 plus x. Okay. Now take all things on the left hand side and make it a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation solve karna aata hai na? So you will be able to split the middle term and factorize. Otherwise, you can use the direct formula. Okay. So 3x square minus x minus 4 equal to 0. So I split the middle term, 3x square minus 4x plus 3x minus 4 equal to 0. So taking x common, 3x minus 4, then plus 1 and 3x minus 4 equal to 0. Factorizing, 3x minus 4 common aya, and then x plus 1 is left, and that is equal to 0. So when 3x minus 4 is equal to 0, the value of x will be 4 upon 3. This is the first value of x. And when x plus 1 is equal to 0, the value of x will be minus 1. So the values of x will be 4 upon 3 or minus 1. And that's it. These are the values of x for which the function are equal. So that was question number 15, my dear friends. I hope I am able to explain all these 15 questions in a proper manner. In case you have any doubt, any question, you can leave your doubts in the comment section and I will definitely answer to all those questions. Also, if you want me to make video on any of the topics, right? If you're struggling with any of the topics in mathematics, you can send in your request, and before making other videos, I'll try to entertain your request. Meanwhile, you can press the like button, comment, share, and subscribe this channel so that you will get notifications of all the upcoming videos for you. I must tell you that like this, I'll be making videos on all the exemplar questions of class 11 NCERT, class 12 NCERT, then 10th, 9th, and 8th as well. All right. So please wait for my upcoming videos. All the very best. Keep watching these videos and keep learning from them. Have a nice time. Bye bye.